Hi everyone. I'm Stefan from GNOSIS. For those of you who don't know GNOSIS, GNOSIS is a prediction market platform that we built on Ethereum. Today I will not talk about prediction markets, and I will also not talk about the upcoming token auction because we also didn't pay for it. Instead, today I will talk about a tool that we developed as part of the preparation for our token auction. And before I start, I would like to ask you, I would like to do a small poll. Who of you owns crypto, Ether, Bitcoin, anything? Okay. Seems like everyone, yeah? So who of you has done a multisig transaction? All right. And who of you has done a has signed a transaction in cold storage, so offline? All right, that's pretty good. So what we developed is a new multisig wallet, which we designed from the ground up to support both multisig transactions and cold storage. So the reason for us was mainly that that currently there's not really a UI available that allows to do both easily and transparent for everyone, especially non-technical users. So if we design a multisig wallet, the most important thing obviously is security. So we put a lot of attention while developing on security. So, first, why actually did we do this? So there are already multisig wallets available for a long time. The first wallet that was more widely used was developed by the Ethereum Foundation to also maintain their own funds. So this is a battle-tested multisig wallet. It's running for almost 2 years, I think, or even more. And so far, no Ether was stolen from this wallet, so it seems pretty safe. So why did we decide to create a new multisig wallet? The reason is that this wallet was designed for Ether transactions only. So the only thing that you can actually do with multisig is sending Ether from one address to another, but it doesn't protect Ether any kind of token transfer or any other transaction that you would like to do on the blockchain. So this here is a short snippet from the multisig wallet code. We can see that there is this if statement. If the amount of Ether that we'd like to send is under a certain limit, then we do a call, we execute the transaction, send the value, and also execute the data. So the problem is now that if you do token transactions, that this is basically encoded in data, and this is not validated, so you can basically send any kind of token anywhere without any multisig. And this becomes more and more important to also do multisig for tokens, obviously, because now there are a lot of token launches and a lot of new tokens are created on the network, and probably very soon the market cap of all tokens that are traded is surpassing the value of Ether. And actually, it's also planned to use Ether as a token as part of the Serenity EIP 101. So that's why we thought we should probably put some effort and design a new wallet. So this here is a screenshot that I took recently from EtherScan. It shows the Ethereum accounts which hold most Ether in one account. And if you have a closer look, you see there's this icon here. This icon signals that there's a smart contract holding the Ether, and the others are basically controlled by private key. So if the account is only protected by one private key, it basically means there's one single point of failure. If the private key is lost, you cannot you cannot transfer the funds anymore. There are basically two scenarios: either there's one person or one machine controlling this, If it fails, then it's lost, or there could be also multiple copies of this. If one of those copies is compromised, the funds can be stolen, and you cannot even say who was the one actually doing this. And now let's have a closer look. What you see is number 1 and number 2 are cold wallets. The cold wallets by the main Ethereum exchanges. First one is Poloniex, the other one is Kraken. And I think number 4 and number 6 are also part of Kraken and Poloniex, actually. So I think this is actually quite a big risk for the Ethereum ecosystem that, big exchanges, they don't put really a lot of effort in securing their own, cold wallets. So we try to build a new wallet, and we try to make, we put a lot of effort in trying to make it secure. We did multiple security audits. The first one was done in consensus and mostly done by Joseph Chal. And another one was initiated by the Ethereum Foundation and conducted by Martin. Thank you both for putting this effort. However, of course, there might be still bugs in it. I mean, we have put a lot of effort, but there might still be bugs. Who knows? That's why we have running bug bounties. The multi-signature wallet is actually included in 2. Our GNOSIS bug bounty that we started for our token launch, as well as part of the Wave Fund bug bounty. I think Nick will give a presentation right after me. And then it's also important to note that there is actually already instantiation of the wallet running and used by Golem for their own crowd sale. So why did we put such a lot of effort in creating a new user interface? Well, security, we think, can only be ensured if a user is aware of the result of his own interactions, of what the transactions are doing. And right now, that's not really the case. We know human bytecode is not really human readable. Also, addresses are really hard to recognize. So we try to put some abstraction on this and make transactions really human readable as much as this is currently possible. A good example of how user interfaces can fail is maybe the address 00. It's an address where people accidentally send Ether to. So no one has a private key for this address. So it doesn't make any sense to send money to this address, but still it contains Ether worth of around $70,000 because users were not aware of how to use the interface, basically. There are other examples, like, for example, for the Singular DTV campaign, there were some people sending Ether to the token contract instead of the token crowd sale contract. And this was basically lost as well. And so far, we think there was not really any comprehensive UI for multisig transactions. What also limits the usage or transparent usage to us, basically, we developers. But in many cases, there will be, if you set up a company and you want to do a token launch, for example, there should also be people involved in those multisig wallets, which are probably not so technical. And I think it's our responsibility to allow also those users to participate and have a say in what we do with the money controlled with money controlled by those wallets. So now I will just show you a quick demo of how this is used. So first we add a wallet, we label our wallet, we set the number of required confirmations, signatures, then we can set the daily limit, which is actually a way to withdraw money without requiring multi-signatures. This allows you to, like for your daily expenses or your monthly expenses, that where you don't want to ask everyone participating, you can still withdraw it, and this just is more convenient and also allows people to just leave their key in their cold storage and don't touch it if it's nothing really important. If you see that someone is misusing this, there is a limit. You can only withdraw a certain amount per day. if you are exceeding this, then it still requires multisig, otherwise it doesn't. Yeah, now we add also some other owners. I add Alice and Bob, and then I deploy the wallet. It's deployed via a factory contract. And this runs against test RPC, so it's directly mined. And now the wallet was deployed. We have 0 Ether on this wallet. Currently, we have a daily limit of 10 Ether and a limit for the day of 10 Ether. Now we deposit 20 Ether. The balance was updated. And now we can try to withdraw the daily limit or part of it. In our case, we withdraw 5. And it should be updated now. Now we do another withdrawal, but this time we exceed the daily limit. So now it will require other people to confirm this transaction. And we can check this by just going to the detail page of the wallet. And there we see a list of multisig transactions. So the first one was sent by me, was required to send Ether to me. And the date or the subject of the transaction is transfer 5 Ether to my account. It was confirmed by me and it was executed, so it was within this daily limit. The other transaction was not executed as it surpasses the daily limit. And now I ask Bob, who is a responsible user, to sign the transaction, and he will do this off-chain. So he will do it he will sign the transaction offline. So what I do is I pass the address of the wallet to Bob. And this here is actually a tab that I switched into offline mode. So this here is offline and the interface changes accordingly. He will add the wallet, he restores the deployed wallet, labeling it and adding an address. And now we can go to the detail page. Because the wallet is offline, the interface changed, and you have now all the functionality to do anything, any of those actions simply offline. What we do now is confirm offline. There are 2 pieces of information required to confirm offline. One is the transaction ID, so a unique identifier, like a transaction nonce, basically, to select the transaction that you want to execute. In this case, is transaction 1. And the other information is the Ethereum account nonce. That's always required to make the transaction unique. And now we have the bytecode for the transaction that we can now send to the network. And now what we see here is the transaction overview. What you can see is that for every known contract, the data can be decoded according to the known ABI. If the ABI is not known, then you can just basically copy and paste it from one of the sources where this might be available, or from the contract owner. You can also see that also log statements are decoded. So log statements are the basically the statements which are printed kind of or written at the time of execution, so you can analyze how the transaction behaved. So for example, for the second transaction, we did a submission. It was confirmed by myself and it was executed. And the other one was a submission and was confirmed but not executed yet. And now we wait for the execution of Bob's transaction. And we see it was confirmed and executed. And yeah, we basically try to, like, you could just see that there's like this is transaction data which was translated to, let's say, human readable, or like basically what the ABI was referring to. And yeah, we basically replace addresses wherever possible with the labels that you were assigning to the addresses. Yeah, and now you can of course, also, okay, now we see again, yeah, it was confirmed by Bob and my account was executed. And now to make usage of any kind of token easy, we also added a token interface. You can just copy and paste the address of one token. We autocomplete all the information available on the blockchain. And then you can just easily deposit, withdraw tokens. And well, it will also then be shown as a human readable transaction once we withdraw money. So now we deposited 10 test Ether token, 10 test token. Yeah, now we have 10 test token. Now we withdraw 10 test token. And yeah, now it should show up as a multisig transaction. And it decodes to 10 test token to my account. And reconfirmed by me. I can revoke the confirmation and ask someone else again to confirm it, then finally execute the transaction. So what we would like to add in the future, or what we're currently working on, is integration of providers for other wallets, like the Ledger wallet and also Uport. So you would not have to label anymore any account, but you can just use the information provided by Uport or by the Uport proxy contract. We also would like to automate the integration of APIs. Christian Reitwiesner was implementing this feature to basically append the swarm hash to a contract, to the bytecode of a contract, so you can easily get the API. We're also working on a service to allow notifications via email. So, for example, if confirmation is required by you, you get an email, and you know that you are required to interact. It's released under GPL, so you can do whatever you want with it. You just have to release the code, and you can actually try it out now. There's a live version running on this domain. If you want to use it for your own campaign or for whatever reason, please run a local copy. And yeah, thank you very much. And move your funds of exchanges.